it now. 888-467-4200, and they'll deliver it right away. That's 888-467-4200. You can smile straight in the world's face this time.
Chicago, Chicago.
Welcome back. It is the PM show with the Manettis, Larry and Nancy, and our special guest. I'm so excited to have him in studio again. Roger E. Mosley is here. You remember him, TC on Magnum PI. And of course, we have our link to the movies. Will Link is here. He'll be doing a movie review for us later, a little report.
That's true.
Should we take a phone call, guys?
Yeah.
That'd be
Why
fun.
not?
All right, let's go to the phone lines and say hello to Gary calling us from Michigan. Hey, Gary. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, we're fine.
We're
We're having
great.
fun.
Oh, I am just doing fine myself. And I heard Roger E. Mosley was going to be on the show. He was a great man.
He is a great man. We're looking at him right now. He's a good guy.
And I've got a question for Mr. Mosley. Roger E. Mosley, what was your favorite TV show when you were just a young adult?
Good question.
Whoa, that is a good question. Ironically enough, it was
because that's all I had. It was was it the Nelsons, Harriet?
Yeah. Ozzie and Harriet.
Ozzie and Harriet.
Family.
Ozzie and Harriet, and the Jack Benny Show.
Oh, he was
Just-
great.
Yeah, just had me mesmerized. But Ozzie and Harriet first because I identified with the two young guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was TV a big deal?
Roger.
Sorry about that, Gary. Was TV a big deal for you? Did you see it and go, I want to do that? Or
Oh, no.
You never knew. You kind of fell into
You
it.
may not notice I'm black. And back then, we were still at the stage. You said when I was young.
Right.
We were at the stage when if a black person came on television, you'd run out to the whole, there's a black man on TV. Well, not a black man. There's a colored man on TV. There's a colored man. And literally, everybody would run to the TV set, not to their TV set, because in the neighborhood, there was probably, in a whole block, there may have been 5 televisions servicing the whole block. And everybody, you'd literally run and knock on the door. Can we watch your TV? There's a colored man on TV. There's a colored man on TV. And you run in and see it. So it was not something that I said. I mean, it was so unique to see a colored man on television. The thought of you being there never crossed your
Seemed
mind.
unattainable.
Yeah, because it was usually someone who had achieved some sort of success in some other field, like a Nat King Cole or, you know,
Yeah,
Jack
somebody
Benny,
on the Ed Sullivan show.
Rochester.
Did you have thoughts of being an actor, though, at that time?
No.
How did you get started then?
No, well, time came. I was born here in Los Angeles. So, as with everything else, when you're in the midst of something, you don't see it.
Right.
It's like, I think I was the last person to go to Disneyland. Everybody else flew as soon as Disneyland got there. Everybody else flew in and wanted to go to Disneyland. Me, well, it's right down there. I'll eventually get to it. So now Hollywood was right down the street. But as far as I got to Hollywood, I got a little job up in Studio City shining shoes. I had a little booth at a car wash, and I shined Bela Lugosi's shoes.
Wow.
What's the other guy? Lon Chaney Jr. I shined his shoes. I shined people like that shoes. So still, the thought of me being an actor never came about. Now we started to get the social unrest. I was able to live through that. And as a result of living through that, I was in the social unrest that happened in Watts in 1965.
Right.
And I was in the middle of it. I was a participant, in fact. And I would see things happening in Watts. That's where I was born and raised. But when I went and saw the news, what they were saying was totally different from what was going on. And at that point, I wanted to tell the truth. By now I'm a junior in college. And I decided I want to be a newscaster. And
very cool.
Striving to be a newscaster is how I end up in acting, because I took a course called Career Academy of Television and Broadcasting to learn how to work as a newscaster, only to find out they weren't looking for colored newscasters
Wow.
Oh, my God.
but they were looking for actors, because they had run through almost all of the athletes they could. You know, that whole genre. They put all the basketball players on, Cornbread Earl and me, Jamal Wilkes, all those people, Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, et cetera, et cetera. But after they'd run through them, they started looking for actors because the football players basketball players can only hold their attention so
Sure.
long. And that's where I started to come in. I started taking classes in acting, and my exposure to being in newscasting allowed me to read scripts well, to interpret them well, and that's how I got started in acting.
That's an awesome story.
That's a I never heard that
I
story.
need water. I need water.
And you know what?
You
Think
never
about-
asked, Larry. You never asked.
He's always
Sit in that
picking.
motorhome.
Oh, will you quit picking on me?
Never asked. I know everything about you.
Poor Roger.
You know, but that's a really cool thing for you to tell us and for us to remember, because I think people in the younger generation take a lot of stuff. They take a lot of stuff for granted, you know, and you don't realize that this was not that long ago. So
No, it wasn't.
wow, Gary, I'm sorry I commandeered your questions. Do you have another
Is he
question?
still there?
Are you still there? Are you,
Gary,
Gary? Are you still there? Did you have
I'm
any?
still there.
Did you have any other
Yep, I am.
questions?
Yep, I got one more other question. Roger, who was your favorite movie star growing up? My favorite movie star is Russell Crowe and Nicolas Cage.
Oh, good ones.
Okay, well, you're a young guy. My favorite movie star growing up, who I could identify with, was Woody Strode.
Oh, yeah, he was wonderful.
He was fabulous.
I don't know.
Woody Strode
Oh,
was
you
in
go
the
look back at him.
Professionals.
He was a groundbreaker.
Yeah,
he
but-
was a ex-athlete.
What was the name of that movie?
I'm writing
that
this down.
He did that.
Sergeant Yard.
Yeah, no, he wasn't he? What do you call it? I almost said crucified, but he was arrested in the military. What did they?
Oh,
call
he was
it?
in Spartacus with Kirk Douglas.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sergeant York. He
Jeffrey
played.
Hunter defended him.
And what about Pollyanna with Jane Wyman?
Oh.
Holly.
Well, you got to remember, I'm black. Yes, my favorite actor was. Probably wasn't a white
Jane?
woman. I'm sorry.
Woody Strode was
Hey.
a black actor.
I didn't say, wow, look at Jane Wyman. I want to be that when I get up there.
Then you would have had a big problem.
I had a big problem. But no,
We're probably thankful. All right, Gary.
not that anything's wrong with it.
That's right. Thank you. Remember your audience here.
Hey, Gary, thank you.
Right, bye.
Thanks
Bye,
for the phone call, Gary. That leaves the line open. Good questions. Gary always comes up with some fun ones.
He does.
Thought provokers. 800-336-2225. Let's go back to the phones and say hello to Bill. Hey, Bill.
How you guys doing tonight?
Can you tell we're having a little fun?
It is fun. It's always fun on Tuesday nights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's on your mind tonight?
I do have a couple questions, if I may. Larry and Roger, what was it like when you guys went and did Las Vegas?
It was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
great. It
It's a
was
fun
good to
show.
get back together. They designed the characters for us. The only downfall was that John didn't make it because they had set aside a role for him also. That would have been a great reunion. But
Yeah.
Larry and I have a ball everywhere we go. It's not just, you got to understand, Larry and I don't just do movies and stuff together. We travel on together. They make personal appearances. I go over his house and eat up all of his food.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
He's
my
kind of a
wife and his
chef,
wife
so.
get along together.
Yeah, we-
So yeah, we
great.
have a good social relationship besides. So it made no difference where we went. We were going to have a good time.
Hey, Bill, can you hold on? We'll get to your next question after the break.
Sure thing.
All right, hang on. That's Bill calling us from Iowa at 800-336-2225, 1-800-336-2225. You can also send us your questions on Facebook, facebook.com/TheRealLarry Manetti. And, of course, we are streaming live right now at crntalk.com. Check us out in the chat room. Jennifer Horn, Larry Manetti, Nancy Manetti, Roger E. Mosley, Will Link. We're all coming back with more on CRN Digital Talk Radio.